Good morning and welcome to Norwal Farm. Michael Walsh and Roger Norgel here. Welcome to our channel. In today's video we have completed our fencing project, and so we'll take you through on that, show you what we've put in, and it's really helped us streamline what we do and helps with the rotational grazing. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, ring the notification bell, and if you would please like the video, leave us a comment, and share it with a friend. So thanks for joining us again here at Norwal Farm, and we'll get started. Headed down to the sheds, and today we're going to combine the two breeding groups of ewes. Lambert, which is the Ile-de-France ram, and then Cracker, the Dorset ram. I put Lamborghini in with Cracker a couple days ago, and there was minimal fighting since the ewes are in there. Lambert and his group are two paddocks down where those trees are. They have that paddock and then the one next to it. The one immediately in front of us are not in, but we're going to bring them up. We'll also bring the two dogs with us, and we're going to combine them out here with the other sheep, and the billy goat and the llama are out here as well. So that'll be all one group. And then we've got some new fencing installed this past week, and we'll show you where we're going to allow them to go to since we've got the new fencing in. So we'll go get the sheep and bring them up. They're coming to greet us. There's Callum and Charm. Freya always comes along with me on these walks. She enjoys coming down here. See, the sheep are on down there, right at the gate of the other paddock. They'll probably come up here. And there's Chloe. She likes to tag along too. They get their exercise. So we'll open this gate and get them through. Looks by habit, run through the gate, and they'll actually go up to the next gate and go through as well. It's just what they do. They always explore the farthest boundaries of their paddock where they can go. Sheep are coming here. Come on, girls. We'll just stand back and they'll come through here. Come here, Chloe. Freya, here. Here, come on. We're going to start Freya's sheep herding lessons here, hopefully this month of June, next month. Get her started. All but two ewes have been serviced, and I think those were two of them that lost their cedars. There were actually three of them that lost them, but if it lost it like a day or so before we pulled them, then they probably came in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So two of the IDFs have not been serviced. If any of them come back in heat, I don't really care which ram they get bred to. So we're going to combine them now just to make the management easier. I will take the marking harness off of Lambert, and then when we come up to the 16, 17 days, I will put red rattle on Cracker because he's easier to catch. That way if any ewes come back in heat and are serviced, we'll know they came back in heat. And like I say, I don't care which ram they get bred to because these will all be market lambs. So we'll go up and combine the groups, and hopefully there's not a whole lot of fighting. And there they go. And hopefully the rams don't fight too much. Cracker and Lamborghini, the Suffolk, they butted around a little bit, but not a lot. And with the ewes in there, I think that's a distraction. Cracker and Lambert are probably the two that will fight the most. Okay. All the rams are right there. And they're all busy checking out the other ewes, so that's a good distraction. This is part of the new fencing we put in. We're going to have another run-in shed, a 12 by 24. In the center of that shed will go where that big wooden post is right there. And that allows us to have two paddocks here in the winter or whenever. These white things here are bungee gates. They're cables that are electrified, which gives you a much wider gate, and they're less costly than the metal gates. I didn't really need metal gates everywhere, so we use those quite a bit. We used 2 metal gates this time, one up by the barn, you'll see up there. And then, where did I put the other one? I don't remember where I put the other one. Oh, up there where the lambs are, feedlot lambs, because they can go out there. That allows us to let them up in front of the house there. So I'll show you a bit more of the fencing, what we've done. And this is actually working well. There's a little bit of fighting, but there's enough different ewes in there that they're more interested in checking out the ewes. See, that's Cracker sniffing the red-marked one, because he doesn't know them. And Lamborghini was right there with the red-marked one, but he's also checking out the green ones. So that's working better. And there's Joel trying to reach the browse, which he is. They keep these trees trimmed up really well. So always try to run the goats over these pastures too to keep the brush under control. This divider fence goes on down there, and then you see where it goes to the left, where that big shavings pile is. And it just goes over to where that post is on the left. And you can see there's a bungee gate down there, and there's one on this side. That shavings pile is where we put animals that die. They will compost, and that way we don't have to bury them deep in the ground or anything. But we decided to do those long gates, that way when we have to add more shavings to it, we can take them both back. It's a straight shot in and out. And then we also, you can't see it from here, but there's another gate over at the corner there to the wetlands, because we had no access to the wetlands. No gate to, if any stock got out, or in one of our videos last February, if you remember, the wetlands caught on fire, and the fire department had no way of getting on there. They had to go down to the highway, which was okay. The Abbott Drive's down there. They went down there and gained access, but we thought, you know, we probably do need at least the gate to get livestock in. So we made that a 30-foot gate as well. So that'll serve well. We have to keep that fenced off and electrified because we lost a ewe. I don't know, I had to euthanize her last whenever. And actually the dogs smelled it and dug in and pulled her up. So yeah, we got a little bit of fighting here now, but hopefully it doesn't get too serious. Hey! I don't mind they staying close. It's when they back up and really smack each other I don't like it. Cracker's the one that really does it most. I'm hoping they'll get distracted with the ewes again. Part of our new fencing, I'm here at the gate on the Box Elder Grove. This was the original line fence that went up. So anytime we tried to get the stock up to that pasture up there where those 2 trees are, and then there's another pasture way up far north, we either had to lead the llama or drive them, you know, put a temporary fence up to create a lane. So we had a permanent lane built. So now we can drive them whenever we need to go. So it goes up to the hillside pasture. And then on the north side of that pasture, there's another lane that continues on up to where the woods in the north pasture are. And since we had that north pasture fenced, there were already 2 sides of the woods that were fenced. So we had them go over and fence in the other 2 sides of the woods. So now we can just drive the goats up there, turn them in there, and it's completely fenced. The last 2 summers we have fenced that, but we've had to use the DR to trim it and then also string up the temporary fence, and that was just a lot of extra work and effort. So we were able to complete this year. So really pleased with how this is shaped up. I'm not quite halfway up this lane, and there's a bungee gate there. So that's closed. The gate up there, I think, Yeah, that gate up there is closed too. So this is a lane. We can actually pen them in here if we want. And we've got some extra bungee cords. What I plan to do is make a couple, maybe 3, that will stretch across the lane here. And we can confine them to half or whatever amount we want to get a graze down. But I'm going to let the sheep just run up here as they want right now. And as you can see, the guardian dogs have come through to check it out. But we're really pleased with this. The field around the barn up there and the field along the highway all has perimeter fencing. And then there are interior line fences that divide it. Well, not along the road, that's just one paddock. But the bigger portion down south of the barn, there are 3 interior line fences that help divide it. So we can run temporary fence between all the permanent fence. It just saves a lot of extra labor for us. Don't have to drive corner posts and can use, like I say, they're pretty well conditioned to the 1-strand fence. That makes it a lot easier. So that's what we did this past week. Rams seem to be pretty well settled down. Cracker and the black-faced Suffolk, they were turned together before, so they know each other. The white ram in the middle between the Suffolk and Cracker, they have to figure out that he's part of the group again. But this is much better than when I used to put them together without ewes. I think I heard of that on a YouTube video or something. Somebody mentioned it, that they seem to do better when you turn the groups together with the ewes. They don't fight quite as much. With a new group of ewes, there's more new animals. And I'm pleased with the way this is working so far. Anyway, that's the tale of the fighting lambs. And they found the lane and they're going up there. Heidi and Joel always lead them, so good to see. There's a lot of good grazing up there, and there's some browse along that fence that Joel will be attracted to. I want him to clean that fence line. And you saw that goes up to the north field, which you can see in the corner of the picture there. So we'll leave them in there for a few days. There's a pasture app on the herd watch as well. So I'll show you some screenshots there, because we removed the one group of ewes from the 2nd and 3rd wetlands paddocks. So I marked those dates so I know on pasture rotation how long animals have been off of it. And then there were already animals on this area here, so I don't need to make any change in that. You can see how tall this grass is though, because there hasn't been much grazing on this. So this will work well. And then we've designated each of the lanes. This one is North Laneway South, I think, and the other one is North Laneway North. And so they got turned into that today, so we need to mark that as well. This is the field up by the highway, and you can see there's a stretch gate up there that's up. It's about, I think, 30 or 40 feet. And then it comes down around here. Another stretch gate here. This is a 30-foot gate. And then it goes on down to where the mailbox is, and you can see there's another stretch gate down there. That allows for farm equipment to come in. We're actually going to mow this early this next week, either tomorrow or Tuesday, when they mow the north hayfield, just to get the grass off of it. It's kind of mature and we won't get it grazed anytime soon. So we're going to cut it and make whatever hay is there. It'll be dry hay. And that's something that, you know, we can utilize. We'll use it for the feeder lambs or the ewes when they're, early gestation. And then that's the balance of our fencing over there. There again, we went down and connected to the existing fence there at the corner. Brought this up here. Then there are 2 divider fences in here, actually 3, but there's 2 that you can see here. There's one there and then one where that other post is. And those run pretty much to the bottom. And then on the end there are 30-foot gates there as well, stretch gates. That way when we're doing field work with implements or anything, it's wide enough that we can get, you know, they can apply fertilizer, the tractor and mower, the tractor and the baler can get through here if we need to. And then what we'll probably do is stretch our temporary fences from the nearest fence here over to the farthest fence and make our strips there. There's also a water line coming on the fence that comes from that corner gate. The nearest one here, there's water line coming up there. And then there's also, beyond the hill, there's a shorter fence and there's a water line coming up there. And then the water line comes all the way up to this corner post here. And we connect a hose there and bring it over to here. And there's a connect where we can put a hose on it and that energizes the water line that's all along that fence. So we'll have water over there as well. There's the water spigot and then the connection for the hose when it comes across to energize this line. So then this water line runs at this post. You can kind of see the track where it went up there. There's one on the post between those 2 little brace posts there, that one in the center. There's one there. And I believe there's one on up there. So we have access for water over here. So that will work. But we're really pleased with this project, the way it turned out. We're down here at the wetlands number 2. This is where the dog feeding station, water tank was there, mineral feeder was there. So we pull the dog station behind the tractor. Mineral feeder and water tank and hose is loaded here. So you can move everything with one trip on this. The portable shade is down there, right there. We don't have the shade on it yet, but we'll be bringing it up. We'll probably bring it up maybe where that dirt is there, because that's probably where the ewes and lambs are going to be going when they come from the barn. Haven't fully decided yet. But that'll be the first block that we start grazing. It's been 4 weeks today since anything's been on this. So we'll start there, then we're just going to work our way this way. Then we continue on through those gates and just work our way around the pasture out there. There should be, last time there were, I think, 5 days of grazing. May not be as much now because it's turned off really dry. So the pasture's not growing as much. And then they will rotate over onto wetlands number 4 down there at the end. And I can probably get 2 blocks out of that. I got 4 this spring, or 5. And then come this way. Then I probably won't put anything on this one or this one because they just went off of that. Then wetlands number 1, they can go down to there. And then hopefully by that time, we will have harvested the hay out here and there'll be enough regrowth that will start rotating out there as well. And I think I'm going to put all the ewes together, the ones that were just bred, and then the lambs nursing, or ewes nursing lambs. They can all graze together, so it's less fence building, less maneuvering. And then the feeder lambs will stay as another group. And we still have the hillside pasture and the very north pasture that we can use as well. The rams and the billy goat are going to go across the road over there at Tony's where the goats are currently, and we'll leave 2 wethers over there, so they'll be over there for the balance of the summer. I know it's not rotational, but I think we'll be okay. The goats are going to go to another location. We're going to bring them home probably this week and put them in the very north woods up here for a couple of weeks to clear that out. And then they're going to go about 10 miles or 15 miles from here. Kelsey, the lady that wrote my grazing plan for me, she has her horses at her grandmother's place, and there's 2.5 acres of really dense browse down there. So they will go down there with Garrett and spend most of the summer. Then whenever they come back, our woods will probably be grown out again. We'll put them back there. So that's the plan going forward. Got the dog feeding station and the mineral feeder up here to the paddock here. I generally put the mineral feeder next to the dog feeding station, just out of habit. Then they use, if they see the dog feeding station, they know where the mineral feeder is. And out in the other pastures, I put the water tank near those two as well, so all three are in the same place. We have an automatic water right over there, so I don't need a water tank in here for them. So get the tractor out of here and we'll go down and open the laneway, the north lane 1. That way they can come back in here. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for joining us at Norwal Farm, and we'll see you next time.